Hello, welcome to a new episode of Entre Artistas with Happy Anderson. Happy Anderson is an actor from the United States who has worked in film, television, and on and off Broadway. He's been best known for his roles as Mr. James, Jimmy, in Fester on Cinemax, the Nick, and Jerry Brudos on the Netflix series Mindhunter from Anderson appears in the Netflix films with Sandra Bullock, which is Bird Box as the Riverman, and Bright as Montague.
Montague.
Yeah, Montague, who works for the FBI Magic Division, right?
That's right.
Awesome.
Yes.
Happy also was one of my teachers back then in New York Film Academy when I was studying musical theater. He's an amazing, astonishing teacher, and of course, a prodigy as an actor. So welcome, Happy. How are you doing?
Thank you, Miguel. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for accepting the interview. The first question I would like to ask you is, what projects are you on? Are you working in something right now, or are projects on the doorstep right now?
I had two things come out recently. A movie called Maggie Moore's, which is available on Hulu right now, with John Hamm and Tina Fey.
Okay.
And I was in a limited series called Full Circle, which is on Max, all 6 episodes. And then in a few months, I'm in a movie that'll come out called The Bike Riders with Tom Hardy and Austin Butler.
Okay, that's really nice. That's good. He's always having a busy agenda, so I'm glad I book a little space of the time for this interview. So going to the matter, I would like to know if you can share a little bit to the audience, how do your methods when you are going to have a role or in front of on the camera? What do you do? How do you prepare now that you are a professional, well-known actor?
That's a great question. I've found over the years that every job, every role requires something totally different. Some of the more intense roles, like Mindhunter, or Bright, or things like that, require some of the techniques actually that I taught you.
Yeah.
The personalizing and imagery exercises, and not methody stuff, but very making it very personal. And then there's some stuff that's very straightforward, and all you need to do is just learn the lines and say them. If you do too much prep, it kind of muddies the waters when it's a very straightforward thing.
Okay, that's nice. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing that. Also, I would like to ask you, how do you approach to your students when you have students? How do you analyze them in order to get their best?
That's a great question too, and it takes I like to believe I can do it fairly quickly. It's different all the time, but it takes taking the person in and getting to know the person a little bit to be able to tell what it is they need to work on or not work on, and where they would best fit in the business. And technique wise, what about that individual student's instrument should I focus on or pull away from? And it's very much more, I've found, about the person than it is about the perceived talent. Because if a person can bring all of themselves to it authentically, it'll be believable in one way or another.
Could you share any anecdotes, if you can, when you did that scene with Sandra Bullock, or any other story with Will Smith? With that scene, I think it's at the end when you approach, he is in the bed, laying in the bed. I think
that one was a lot of fun. That one was actually filmed much earlier in the process, so I was still kind of figuring out the character. So the way I approached that was just to hate them both. If you see the look on my face, it's just pure hatred. And the director, David Ayer, is excellent. And from that, he and I together kind of formed what was going on with my character. And unfortunately, a lot of things were cut. But the movie as it is works, and it's very concise and fast. And it turns out it didn't need all the things we shot. But I had some scenes that I loved a lot that didn't make it, that helped shape the person. You know, the person was a bit more multidimensional in the original version.
Okay.
As far as Bird Box, that was crazy, man. I mean, you know, we were in a real river in Northern
Yes.
California. It was so cold. It was in the middle of January, and the water often was up to here. Sandra Bullock was great. The kids were great. The kids' stunt doubles were great. It was just tricky to, you know, play the scene when you can barely stand and you feel like you're gonna go underwater at any second, you know.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Also, I would like to know if you can let us know what's the difference between new generations, maybe generation from 10, 20 years ago, the way you teach them. It's the same, something have changed because social media, because the new generation has another mindset. How is it?
Yeah, that's a really, really great question. And it's very subtle, but there are definitely some changes. You know what I mean? I've just found 10, 15 years ago, bluntness worked a lot better with students. Where now, as you kind of have to be a little more careful with how you word things. Not as far as getting in trouble, but not throwing them off. You know, my style is usually very, very straightforward, and I found some students that are now between like 18 and 22 or whatever, they'd rather not have that. And the only thing that matters to me is the actor's growth, right?
Right.
I don't care if you like me or dislike me. I'm just trying to help your growth along.
Yes, I know.
If bluntness doesn't work, I'm not offended by that. I just want to find what is going to work to get you there. That's truly all I care about.
Okay, yeah, that's very important. Also, I would like to know well, you're a very, very busy actor. Could you share what do you do when you have free time? You have hobbies, spend time with your family. What do you do?
Well, this past year, you know, we moved from New York City to Los Angeles, my wife and I, almost a year ago now. And this year has been the least busy year I've had in 15 years because of the double strikes. And then I had some health issues that only recently just were sort of fixed and finished. So I had nothing but free time. So what do I like to do? I like to go to ball games. I like to go on walks. I like to see theater. I like to see concerts. I go to music all the time. My wife and I love that. And I like to create content with my wife. We like to work together. We haven't gotten the chance necessarily professionally yet, but you know, years ago I directed her one-person show, and we have a show that we haven't updated new episodes yet. But we have something called the Andersons, which is on Instagram at Anderson's TV show.
Okay.
On the Insta, and hang out with my cat a lot. My cat's right over there, but she doesn't seem interested in coming on board.
Okay, and how is the difference to be an actor in New York to be an actor in LA? Or is the same, it's practically the same?
Well, you know, a lot has changed no matter where you live in the last 4 years. COVID changed how it all works. And I used to really, really love going in person and meeting with the casting office and meeting with the producers and directors. I typically do much better in person than I do on self-tape. I don't much care for self-tapes. They're the way of the world now. That's what we have to do, and that's fine. But I really preferred the old way. Fortunately, most of my jobs now, in the last 5, 6, 7 years, have been straight offers, which is great. However, I still do very much audition, and I don't get those jobs with a near frequency that I used to, which is a little alarming because I know at some point in my life I was a very good auditioner, and so I have to fix that somehow.
Okay, perfect. Well, Happy, thank you very much for your time, for sharing all your knowledge. Also, I want to wish you the best recovery you can have for your health. You know, you taught me that our body is our instrument to work. So I hope
Right.
your body gets 100% recovered so you can be on screen again. And can you share your social media so people can get to know you more? For most
Absolutely.
people in Mexico.
Absolutely. My Instagram is at Happy Anderson Acting. My Twitter X, I mean, I'm almost never on it, is at Happy Anderson 8. And my Facebook is Happy Griffiths Anderson. And if anyone's interested in my coaching, I'm a acting coach in general. And I obviously nowadays do, Zoom sessions as well, is happyandersonacting.com.
Okay, perfect. So the audience can have the best of the best via Zoom. Well, thank you very much, Happy. I wish you a lot of success. You already have it. I wish you bigger success. Send you a hug from Mexico. Hope to see you soon someday, either in LA or you here in Mexico. To the audience, thank you very much for your time. See you next episode. Goodbye. A lot of success to everyone.
And health.
And health.